What's up, world? This is your guy, Guitar K, and today we're going to be talking about imposter syndrome. You could be an imposter in your own body. Look, sometimes, depending upon the people that we're around, we are scared to be our true selves. And this usually happens the first time we get embarrassed, the first time we go through a big breakup, the first time we get disappointed. We are scared to be our true selves. We walk around on eggshells. We laugh at jokes that we don't think is funny. We make our decisions based on what we think other people are going to think about the decisions that we make. Look, man, we got to stop this. You got to be your true, authentic selves at all times. We are instructed to love others as we love ourselves. And you cannot truly love yourself if you're not being your true self. Look, man, one of my ex-girlfriends back in the day called me, Kawan Lee Parker, a wolf in sheep's clothing. And I know that the people that grew up with me, the people that really know the real me, are probably laughing at that statement because they know that little old Kawan wouldn't hurt a fly. But what I told her is, I'm not a wolf in sheep's clothing. What I am is a sheep who had to put on a wolf's clothing to survive the things that I chose to do as I start growing up and navigating crazy old Baltimore City. But at the end of the day, I was an imposter in my own body. Y'all remember the Eminem song, Won't the Real Slim Shady Please Stand Up? And that's how I felt for so many years, man. Won't the real Kawan Parker please stand up? I let the opinions of other people shape and mold who I became, which had me ripping and running and doing stuff that I would have never done had I just stuck to my own morals and my own values. But let's get into it, man. Imposter syndrome. The definition of it, imposter syndrome, is imposter syndrome, also known as imposter phenomenon or fraud syndrome, a psychological experience that causes people to doubt their skills and successes. It's characterized by a persistent feeling of inadequacy and a belief that success is undeserved, even when evidence suggests otherwise. People with imposter syndrome may attribute their accomplishments to luck or external factors and fear being exposed as a fraud. Look, man, and like I said, this usually starts out, the first time you get disappointed, the first time, you go through a big breakup or you get really embarrassed by something, you kind of retract back in. That's the first time that the reality of the way the world works is not the way things work when you grew up in your house. I know that's how it worked for me. Because in my house, I was like a little king. My grandmother loved me, my grandfather loved me, everything was all hunky-dory. But I remember that first time I went to that cold outdoors and realized, hey, these people out here don't treat me the same way that the people in my household treated me. So I had to put on a persona. I had to act like somebody that I truly wasn't. And I'm telling you, man, that sent me down a long, crazy path of doing things that I just should never have done. It's kind of like a identity crisis. It's kind of like wearing a mask, where some of the things that you truly want to do and that you like doing, you might even start out doing it, but soon as some of your friends or peers be like, oh man, that's stupid, that's crazy, why would you do that? You start agreeing with them. Yeah, that's stupid, that's crazy. Why would I want to do that? Because you like to do it, dummy. Don't let people tell you what you like to do. Think about Venus and Serena Williams, two little black girls in the middle of hood-ass Compton playing tennis. I can imagine me walking through my neighborhood back in the day with a tennis racket. People probably would have been joking me. Look at Juan playing that white boy sport, playing tennis. But they didn't let that deter them. I mean, we seen the movie. They had their father pushing them. He didn't let that deter them neither. But at the end of the day, they stuck to what they love. And you see how that worked out for them. Think about Tiger Woods. Again, I can imagine if I had a set of golf clubs back in the day, how much I would have got joked. But that's what I'm saying, man. You could really like something. You could really be good at something, but you could let the people that's around you make you don't want to do what you want to do. You feel like an imposter in your own body. You feel like you got to fit in. You feel like you got to dumb yourself down and not like to do the things that you like to do when you really do like to do it. You can never really be your true self when you're living like that, man. Look, in my neighborhood, the only two sports they was playing was football and basketball. And then when I looked at the history of it, basketball was invented by a white nerdy guy by the name of Dr. Naismith. The first game was played with all white boys with a soccer ball and two peach baskets. So that just goes to show you, man, It ain't no such thing as a white sport or a black sport. Look, man, whatever sport you like to play, play it. Don't let nobody tell you what sport to play. Don't let nobody tell you what instrument to play. Don't let nobody tell you what to wear. Wear what you want to wear. Do what you want to do. Don't let people start you in the role of being an imposter in your own body. Because once you start letting it happen, you're never going to be your true self. You're never going to find your true path. And next thing you know, you're going to have to be substituting and finding, going down a path of like addiction and alcohol and doing other things to try to find yourself when you found yourself in the first place. But you start letting other people tell you who you should and should not be. Look, man, this is something else we be guilty of. We might like a girl, or girls might like a guy. But as soon as your friends be like, oh, man, she ugly, or oh, he ugly. Now all of a sudden, you think they ugly. Where they do that at? Look, man, stop letting outside people influence how you feel on the inside. Stop letting outside people tell you what you like. Tell you, when you start doing that, you're going to have to start wearing these masks. You're going to have to start acting like you like everybody else. Look, in order to be number one, you're always going to have to be odd. Stop trying to fit in, man. Blaze your own path. Be a trailblazer. Even if you're not from Portland, be a trailblazer, man. Look, because when you start being in this imposter syndrome thing, it sparks self-doubt and it sparks low self-esteem. And it should, because you're not being your true self. I'm telling you, when you be your true self against all odds, you build a self-esteem like no other. You don't care what nobody say, because you know that you're good at what you like to do and you love to do it at the end of the day, and it don't matter what nobody say. Look, truth be told, between me and you, people gonna have something to say no matter what you do. And I had to learn that the hard way anyway, man. Look, stop explaining yourself. Stop justifying yourself. Stop comparing yourself to what other people do, man. Look, you don't have to feel like you belong. If you're born to this world, you belong. You're here. God seen fit to have you here, so you're here. Look, man, Luke, the book of Luke, it says that why would somebody light up a lamp and then put it under a bed? You wouldn't do that. You're supposed to put that lamp up on a stand and let it shine, man. Let your light shine no matter what, man. Look. Trying to make everyone around you feel comfortable is crazy at the end of the day. Everybody ain't going to like you. You ain't going to like everybody. So you might as well do what you like to do and let the other people figure it out for themselves, man. Look. Be your unfiltered self. Look. Your uncompromisable self. Look. Your true authentic self. Look. Come into your own. Be powerful. Be impactful. Find your inner strength, your inner fire, and burn bright. And like I said, man, kill them all. Let the paramedics sort it out. Look, don't be afraid to cause waves. Rock the boat. Look. Do and say what is right for you, man. At the end of the day, you're responsible for how you feel. You can't control what other people say and how they feel at the end of the day anyway. So don't even try to do it. Don't even open up that can of worms. Be you. Nobody else can be you. Nobody else is you. The world needs you, your true, authentic self. Stop trying to be a carbon copy of what everybody else is and what everybody else saying you should be. Do you, because nobody else can do it. Look, man, don't agree to what everybody else saying you should be, because at the end of the day, don't nobody else know what you should be except for you. Look, man, be your true self. Not the fake, altered, what you seen on TV, what people told you you should be. You feel it inside what you should be doing. And at the end of the day, that's what you should be doing, man. Stop being an imposter. Not today, man. Look, deep inside of yourself is something down in there that you like to do. It's not what nobody else said you should do. It's not trying to make nobody else happy. It's what makes you happy. Because at the end of the day, you can never truly be happy by only doing stuff that other people say you should do. Again, like I said, and at the end of the day, you can't truly love other people if you're not really doing what you love to do. That's why when you go to parties and stuff like that, ain't nobody really start getting happy and jump around till they put something up in them. Got to get high first. Got to get drunk first. Because people ain't really being them true, authentic selves. Look, man, when you're doing stuff that you like to do all the time, you ain't going to need to put nothing in you. You ain't going to need nothing on the outside of you to make you you. Be your true self today. Do not be an imposter inside of your own body. Cut it out. This is your guy, Black Forrest Gump.
Oh, no.
Yes, I am Black Forrest Gump. But in this video, this is your guy, Guitar K. Be more